Welcome to the Palmer Boat Show and another new debut taking place here. This is the brand new Windy SR40, a full walk around boat with the option of both inboard and outboard power and some really clever features. And we're going to demonstrate all of those to you today. My name is Hugo Andre, you're watching Motorboat and Yachting. Let's go and check it out. Right, I mentioned you can get two different sources of power, and here we've got the outboards, a pair of absolutely monstrous 600 horsepower V12s that'll give you a top speed of around about 50 knots. And over on the other side, right next to me, is the stern drive boat with a pair of D6 440s, diesels obviously, and that will do around 43 knots. Now, both can be spec'd pretty much identically, apart from one crucial difference, which I'll talk you through. But let's start at the back here. One of the big options, you can see for the first time we've got folding balconies on a Windy. So here, obviously there isn't space to put them down, but we've got one either side. You can see they're optional. That will extend the whole platform sideways and gives you a lovely view from that sunbed. Or you can have fixed bulwarks as you've got on this one here. Exactly the same, obviously a bit cheaper and a bit less flexible. Now, because this is the outboard, there's some really clever stuff going on here. So you can see at the moment we've got it in the seating mode, which links up with this dinette area forward here. This backrest also slides, am I right in thinking? If Jack here can demonstrate. Oh, I'll move that cushion. So you can slide it one way or the other. So you can have a really nice, secure, inward-facing sun pad, or indeed you can slide it all the way back the other way, I presume. Is that as far as it goes? It goes all the way, one more step. So that way you can then have your sunbed facing out to sea, and of course with the platforms down you then get a really great view. Now you can see we've got the extra sun canopy erected over here. We've got the carbon fibre poles. That will all stack away, but it all extends out from this hardtop here. Now the hardtop is one of the key new features of this boat. It's a kind of versatile all year round boat that you can use come sun, rain, winter, anything. But also you've got really good storage up here. You can see we've got the roof rack up there. You can have your paddle boards, and very cleverly we've got steps integrated into the side here so that you can step on up. Why don't I just show you that now? Just have a little bit of a peek up here. You can see you've got storage for your paddle boards, for your surfboards, wakeboards, whatever it is, all above the sunroof, because we've got two sunroofs on here, and I'll show you those, how they open and close. But very cool to have that kind of adventure boat flexibility to store a load of kit and toys. Now, whilst we're at this end here, it's also worth pointing out we've got a couple of steps up and over the sides. And what I love about these, you probably noticed, these little lights illuminate as you fold them down. So that just enables you to hop over the side of the boat if you want to come side to a quay, for example. But very cool the way they just light up the moment you open them. Now let's have a little look here at the dinette. We've got this lovely wrap of seating here, L-shaped on one side, straight on the other, and a big opening table. We might need a little bit of help. Can we just show how that table opens up? Beautifully done. So you can see we've got a full-size square table, so everybody can sit around that. You can sit certainly sort of two on each side of that and have a really nice picnic under the shelter of this hardtop. You can see we've got the roof open here, and perhaps we can demonstrate that. So very quickly, it is a fabric sunroof rather than a glass one, or you can have a fixed skylight if you prefer. But so simple, so quick, so effortless. You can have that nicely shaded like that, or indeed open it up at the touch of a button. But there is more to it than that, because it's not just the roofs that open and close. They're also these side doors here. And I might just fold this table over here so I can get slightly better access to it. Just tuck that away again if we may. Fantastic. And then these whole sliding side doors here. So if you'll notice, they've got really meaty tracks and runners above and below, as well as a stainless steel locking point. But this whole door very simply just slides into place. And again, on this side here, are we able to quickly do that? It's very handy having some people to help me with this because it's just a bit too much one-handed. But in a matter of a few seconds, we've now got a completely enclosed hardtop area that is absolutely usable all year round, full surround. We've obviously got air conditioning in here if we want it, so you can keep the whole thing cool, you can keep the whole thing warm. And being a Scandinavian boat, you're probably going to want a bit of both. So we've got, are these the air conditioning vents? Yes. Very clever, sort of integrated into that pillar there. We've also got some really handy features under here. We've got a big chilled locker in there. I think I saw another one under the seats, didn't I? Is that right? Fantastic. We've got another fridge under there. Very cool. So there's cool drinks wherever you go. Massive speakers built into the seats themselves. There's also storage under some of these seats. And then a big wet bar on this area here with a pull-up, pull-down tap. So that closes up. That also shuts down. I'm not sure if it's locked. No, I think that will work. So it tucks away very neatly. We've also got some quite cool features under here. All of these drawers slide in and out. And I think these are the magnetic glasses. So they're Silwe magnetic glasses. I can feel that. You can probably just see how they sort of lock into place. But so they're really cleverly just stuck on that base. So even though they don't have holders, you don't need them because they're not going to shift. And over on this side, more of the same. Again, all the mugs, all the glasses, all magnetic, even the plates. How clever is that? We've also got a little extra surface there, is that right? Does that pull out? So if you need a bit more prep space, we've got yet another surface there. So real kind of Swiss Army style boat. You've got folding bits everywhere, lots of little hidden lockers. And then let's open up these doors again, maybe. If I just slide that one open. Oh, there we go. And then the sunroof is up here, is it? Can we open that sunroof? Another one over the helm station. And another big sliding door over there. And suddenly, completely transformed into a semi-open boat. I love the way that is just so easy, so versatile. It really is almost like a Transformer-style robot boat. Helm station itself, we've got 3 decent seats here. They're all fully bolstered. They all slide back and forth, and crucially, I'll just point out under here, they are in fact shock absorbing seats. So when you bounce over a wave, even though it's got a really good hull, you've still got extra suspension, if you like, built into that seat pillar. Helm station, 2 huge Garmin screens, touchscreen, everything very well organised, so you don't have to stretch for anything. We've got the twin Mercury throttles there. We've got the full joystick, as including the skyhook button. So if you press that, it's like a virtual anchor. It will lock you in place and keep you permanently in one place without actually having to physically drop the anchor. We've got physical buttons for all the things you really need to get to quickly. And fantastic view out through this big glass screen here. So full protection, including these quarter lights, but look how much air you get coming through those side doors and that sunroof overhead. So whilst we're here, let's have a quick walk around the side decks, noting just how tall these are. If you have a look at this, you can see that these come up fully to my waist, so you are really safe and secure and very easy to move around the boat. Another quite neat little feature down here, if I just point it down, you can see we've got access to the fuel and water, and there's one of those on each side, so whichever side you come to the dock, you can fill those up. A couple of small steps up onto the foredeck. Good big sun pad on the foredeck. Again, very nicely done with little pop-up headrests. If I just pick those up, you can see you can set them at whatever angle you want. Give you more and more support, and then when to put them down, just pull them forward, drop them back down into place. This is a hatch into the cabin below, so there is glass under there if you want to get more light in there or access in and out to the cabin. And then really cool anchoring solutions. This has the more expensive optional fold-out system. You can see it's all tucked away in there, and at the touch of the button that will swing out and over and take care of all the anchoring for you. Or the alternative, slightly cheaper solution but still very effective, is to have a through hull anchor, but you've still got all the same windlasses and so on. But look how lovely all that moulding is, and beautiful finish inside and out, as well as all the deck gear, super high quality. The windlass itself is under here. I don't know if we can just quickly lift that and have a peek. But there you can see the chain locker, the windlass, and another Perspex panel letting light into that cabin down there. Good handrails everywhere you look. Also worth noting, not just regular round stainless steel, we've got beautiful oval sections here and square sections here. It's all been done by Espen Oino, who is very well known for designing super yachts primarily, and this is very much designed both as a leisure boat and a super yacht chase boat, so some of the detailing is really high end. The interior is done by Mark Tucker from Design Unlimited, and again, the kind of attention to detail you'd expect from a super yacht. We've got moulded in floodlights on the top of the screen there, and as I mentioned earlier, a second set of Phyllis caps down there. Right, let's have a quick look down below, because as well as being a very accomplished day boat, it is a proper little weekender. Now this one has got it set up as a bed, but you can see that these cushions here lift out, and normally that is in a kind of lower lounge mode, so you can have a table in there, you can all sit round, but also drop the table down, put the cushions in, and it does convert into a perfectly acceptable double bed. Really good light coming in through all these windows here, and this is where the Design Unlimited finesse really comes into it. You've got really lovely textured materials, little flashes of blue, Fusion sound system in there. This is actually a wood, even though it's black, you can see there is wood graining on there. Again, lots of lovely detailing. They really know how to build a quality product. And then, being a day boat, you do want a day heads, and there it is. High contrast design, grab rails everywhere, small sink, and most importantly of all, a really good sized separate shower cubicle. Now, there is enough room to stand in here. You can see I'm 6 foot, we've got a few inches above my head. There is a door to shut it off so you can keep all the water in there, and a rather nice little teak seat so you can sit yourself down. I thought I'd better show you what it looks like in saloon mode. So this is on the next door stern drive boat, and here we've got it set up as a lower saloon with a table, a dinette, plenty of space to sit around. Obviously still does convert into a bed, but most of the time, if you're using it as a day boat, that is how you're going to have it set up. On the dinette, see if we can flip the camera around and take a final look at the SR40. Now, I've been really impressed by just how clever and versatile and practical this is. There are so many different options, but there is one more trick I haven't yet shown you, and it is the best yet. So you'll notice, let me just spin the camera around. There is that aft seat again, but look what happens when you press this button down here. Now this is an option you can only get with the outboards for very obvious reasons, which I'm about to show you, but just check what happens here. Now I'm told this was inspired by Espen Oino's enthusiasm for the Volkswagen camper, with the roofs that lift up and create an extra sleeping bed on top of the camper. This is even better, even bigger, and even classier. So it is the aft cabin option. You can see the whole of that seat area is rising up on electronic struts, and underneath we've got a very cool little ready-made cabin. There's a the seat is in the way, we just need to move that slightly first. then pop the button, lift the hatch, and then you have access to a very cool little aft cabin. We've got steps down into it. I'm going to pop down in there. And look how cool that is. You've got your very own little aft cabin, got canvases all the way around. They roll up and down. You've got this big opening hatch overhead. But what a cool little extra hideaway. Now, obviously, this is only available with the outboard engines because they are stuck out the back there. In the stern drive, this is where the engines are. So it's only an option you can get with the outboard, but what a cool one to have. I'll just show you that from the outside because it's quite worth seeing too. Look at that. How cool is that? An entire hidden extra cabin, and surprisingly big and bright one at that. So there we go. That is the Windy SR40. One of the cleverest, most versatile, most usable boats I think I've seen at the show, and knowing Windy, it should be a pretty damn good hull too. Obviously we'll get out on it as soon as we can, give it a full sea trial. In the meantime, do let me know what you make of the boat. I would love to read your comments. And as always, thank you very much for watching.